let's face it, fear of being left behind is real. Many software engineers are feeling the pressure of evolving technology and wondering how AI will affect their career in tech. I'm Jean, your trusted engineering mentor, who's going to explain to you the impact of AI on software engineers and what the future holds for us. As a software engineer myself, who worked in tech for 15 years, I wanted to investigate the contradicting perspectives on the impact of AI on software engineering jobs. Are AI is going to replace us or not? There are so-called experts in the industry who think that AI will change the way software engineers work, but it won't necessarily replace us entirely. Their main backup argument or proof seems to be them testing ChatGPT to code or solve math problems, or even make ChatGPT do leak code challenges. There's a major problem with this argument they're overlooking, which is the nature of exponential growth. And I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Let me first give you a bit of background. This concern for AI has been around for longer than you may think. I first learned about it when I took artificial intelligence class, or you can take it to a more modern time, like in 2015, Gary Kaplan wrote a book called Human Need Not Apply. According to Kaplan, AI is not just going to disrupt the way software engineers work, but it might completely replace our jobs. One of the key concepts from the book is that automation isn't just replacing routine jobs, but also those that require specialized skills. And this is because AI systems are getting better and better at tasks previously thought to be impossible for machines to do. More obvious ones are lawyers and accountants who rely on routine and repetitive tasks who are at risk of being replaced. But even radiologists who interpret medical images are now being replaced by AI systems that can do the job faster and with more accuracy. This book also discusses the concept of technological unemployment, which happens when the number of available jobs decreases due to automation. The fear is that this could lead to widespread unemployment and major disruption of society. Another example, truck drivers, currently in high demand, may quickly find themselves out of work as soon as self-driving trucks become more available. Humans are becoming increasingly irrelevant in the age of automation. As machines get better at doing more and more tasks, the need for human labor will continue to decrease. And this raises important questions about the role of work in society. Kaplan says that AI will eventually make most jobs obsolete and humans will become displaced like horses got displaced by invention of cars. Now, I would have to say this is a pretty valid concern, as we've already seen with the displacement of jobs in industries like manufacturing. If you really think about it, GPT-4 is already so much better than its predecessor. Not only is it more accurate, but it's now more nuanced, which makes it a little scary. ChatGPT really opened the floodgates for many tech companies like Microsoft and Google started making similar announcements, and we're now living at a turning point in the history of technology, similar to when the internet was invented or when smartphones first came out. Do you remember that? The more I look into it, the more I lean towards the theory that AI is beginning to displace human workers. Okay, AI won't replace all software engineering jobs tomorrow. It will definitely transform our industry in many ways. Let's talk about the specific signs of displacement caused by AI. First is through automation of jobs. With the development of AI, many manual routine jobs are being automated. You might think, okay, we're software engineers, we don't do routine jobs. That is not true. Automating tasks for software engineers is exactly what I used to do for 8 years at WhatsApp. In case you haven't heard about WhatsApp, it was a messaging startup that got acquired by Facebook for $19 billion in 2015. And I was a 19th engineer at WhatsApp. Now, our team was called Developer Velocity, and we worked on some pretty awesome tools to automate the different aspects of software engineering work. For example, we worked with AI-driven testing tool that replaced the need for traditional manual QA. We also developed deployment automation to speed up the deployment process and continuous integration with smart debugging assistants. So it's true that right now, these automation tools are freeing up a lot of time for software engineers. But as we automate more and more tasks, there can be a decrease in demand for software engineering jobs. So if you're already a senior software engineer, you're probably going to be okay. But if you're currently pursuing software engineering career, there could be a potential threat here. This also means changes in job requirements. You know how technology is always evolving rapidly, right? So this is often the number one complaint from many engineers, that they need to be constantly learning new skills. Well, in the future, the development cycle of new technology could be even faster. Can you imagine that? But many also think it's not all doom and gloom. AI is also creating new jobs, like AI trainers who teach AI systems how to perform tasks, and AI specialists who help make AI systems more transparent. And the development of AI is not just a problem specifically for software engineering, it's also a concern for the society as a whole, with issues like misinformation and its spread through AI-generated content. We all saw how Google's demo with their AI backfired when they provided incorrect information, resulting in a $100 billion loss in Google shares. I recently posted a YouTube short about it. AI-generated content can be really convincing and difficult to distinguish from real content, which can lead to confusion and distrust in information. Hallucinations in AI, or confident responses without justifiable data, can really spread misinformation. As artificial intelligence is now being widely used to generate not just text, but also images, videos, audios, the risk of misinformation being spread has really increased drastically. And it's hard to predict the extent of damage misinformation can cause with AI-generated content being spread. What I really want to point out is that people who think their software engineering jobs will be completely safe from AI is really missing a key point here, which is exponential growth. AI is not going to just gradually take over our job. It's not how technology works. It's going to grow exponentially. Exponential growth is a pattern where something keeps getting bigger and bigger at an increasing rate over time. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. When it starts, it's small, but as it rolls, it picks up more and more snow and becomes larger and larger and larger. So for example, imagine you have $1 and every day your money doubles. After 1 week, you would have $64. After 2 weeks, you would have $8,192. And after 3 weeks, you would have over $1 million. Technology grows exponentially, meaning the bigger it gets, the faster it grows. The development and adoption of AI will definitely continue to transform the job market, and software engineering jobs, I'm sorry to tell you, will not be immune to these changes. If you think you're immune, you're like horses who think there's no way the invention of cars will displace them. This is why people who are testing ChatGPT to code, do math problems, or LeetCode challenges are in denial. ChatGPT can't do your job right now, you don't know how quickly it's going to learn to do your job. Okay, so what can you do? Well, as software engineers, we need to stay on top of the latest advancements to remain competitive in the job market. Bah, 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 bah. Okay, that's what everyone says. But by staying informed and adapting to new changes, we can position ourselves for success in the AI-powered future. If you're wondering what technology you should be focused on learning to stay competitive in the job market, that's what I'm going to talk about in my next video.